guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing like another little story time. This one's a little interesting. So I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that someone thought I was faking being a veteran. So this was a long while ago. This was back when Daisy was still doing public access training, and she was like actively working in public as a service dog in training. So to kind of set the scene, I'm doing training in Home Depot. Home Depot is not pet friendly. I've emailed I've emailed the corporate before, and Home Depot's not pet friendly. But you do typically encounter a few dogs there, so I figured it would be good to just kind of desensitize her and have her just hang out around it, you know, because in Florida, we do run into a lot of fake service dogs, so I wanted her to be prepared for everything. She wore this Ice Fang vest. This Ice Fang vest is a medium and fits both Jasmine and Daisy. And she wore it with these exact patches, so it says PTSD service dog, do not distract, access required by law, and then service dog, do not separate from handler, and just I work for her, right? And like, under Florida state law, service dogs in training have public access. So they're allowed into non-pet friendly places because they are recognized. And legally, you do not have to label your dog. So you don't have to label them as a service dog or anything, and you certainly don't have to label them, oh, he's in training, you know? So to kind of prevent a lot of questions, I usually don't put service dog in training on the dog I'm training. Only because people will be like, oh, he's in training? Who are you training for? Can I pet them? This and that. And it wards off a lot of questions. Usually if it just says service dog, do not interact, you know? So, this exact setup. Now, if you know me, you know I have PTSD. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Jay. I have PTSD. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So also to prevent a lot of questions from being asked, I label it on my service dog. Because people will be like, oh, what are they serving you for? What's wrong with you? So to avoid any questions, it's right here. It is right here. PTSD service dog. It is right here. Non-combat PTSD. I've got a few other patches on my wall. I've got like a sparkly pink one, you know. So she's wearing this exact set. I'm walking around Home Depot and I'm clicker training her, rewarding, and then we're just kind of sitting around, you know. And this old guy, like, the day's going great, all right? She's performing amazing. There were one or two dogs and she didn't react at all, like nothing. Looked at them, looked back at me, and I was like, oh my God. Like, this is beautiful. And then this old guy comes along. And I know old people are more ignorant to things like this. It's just simply being uneducated. So we're sitting on the floor. We're minding our own business. And this guy goes, PTSD service dog. Are you training her for somebody? And I said, no, sir. She's my own service dog. And he goes, you know, I think it's really disrespectful that you're faking being a veteran. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, PTSD service dog. He goes, you're too young to be a veteran. You don't have PTSD. And I was like, sir, not all veterans have PTSD. And not all people who have PTSD are veterans. He goes, no, you're faking being a veteran with a service dog and all this and that just for attention. You're way too young. You need to go home. Stop acting so entitled. And I was like, okay. And I was like, before I could get another word in, he like storms off. And for storming off, for an old, he wasn't really storming off. But he was moving. I was like, what? And then he followed us around the store. which was fun. So I just kind of brushed it off. I'm like, wow, that was a really disrespectful and uneducated and ignorant reaction. Whatever. I wish I got it on camera because I feel like it would have made very funny content. So we were walking around doing some training, and I turn around, and he's like 10 feet away from me. And he's just sitting there like this, and he's just like he's like faced kind of, so like we're here, and he's like here, but he's not facing towards us. He's facing like to the side, like we're facing this way, and he's kind of faced off to the side, and he's just sitting there, but he's like side-eyeing us and scowling. And I was like, get a grip. Like, honestly, I just kind of looked at him, and now I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because I'm like, is this man following me? Like, what's gonna happen? I'm starting to get a little bit paranoid, you know? So we moved to a different aisle, you know? And a few minutes later, we see him just kind of pass by the aisle and make eye contact with us. And as he makes eye contact with us, he slows down, and he's like, and I'm like, what do you want from me? Like, I honestly don't know what I did. And I really, especially when dealing with older people, I try to be as respectful as possible. I know that a lot of them, it's whatever they say doesn't come from a place of trying to hurt you. It's more of just being uneducated, you know? So I try to be as understanding and as educating as possible. But, like, when you're going to sit there and accuse me of something and not even let me, like, respond or try and be like, no, that's not how it is, it's this, you know, then it's like, alright, like, now you're just being ignorant. And that interaction definitely didn't help me at all because at the time, I was still struggling to accept my diagnosis. I didn't really display it on any of my vests. I didn't talk about it, you know. Like, if anyone asked, like anyone I knew that asked, I'd be like, oh, I have POTS. Which I do have POTS. I originally got a service dog for POTS. But, the PTSD came later, you know. The diagnosis of PTSD came later. So, I've been trying to kind of accept it more so I'm able to spread awareness and normalize it. But it definitely kind of set me back a little bit because I was like, why? I'm trying to be open about it, you know? I'm trying to get more comfortable with sharing my story. I haven't even shared my story to you guys. I do plan on doing that in the future, but as of right now, I'm not comfortable on it. I'm just not comfortable putting it out on the internet. But it was just kind of like a shocker, you know, because like I was trying to, that was my step out to be more comfortable with my diagnosis and start to like accept like, yeah, this is real, but it's not the end of the world, you know? And it was just kind of a shocker. It was kind of a culture shock, really, because like anyone that knows me and knows I have it has just been so like accepting and understanding. So for me to have like such a bad reaction and have never had a bad reaction before when telling somebody, it's like, it's sad. And it was a little bit shocking. The more patches I've gotten with PTSD on it, the more I've become like comfortable with it, you know? I don't want to make that my whole life, like, oh, my whole life, this is it, you know? But it's definitely helped me to accept it more when I realized that not everybody, like, it's not everybody sitting there scowling like, oh, what happened to you, you know? They just read it and they're like, okay. It's helped a lot since this has become my main setup recently. You guys have seen this in my last video or so. I think it was my last video. It depends on whenever I upload this. But, so it has working canine on both sides and non-combat PTSD, same symptoms, different battlefield. I got these from, I think, Royal Canine on Etsy. Shit. I can't remember which shop I got these from off the top of my head, but I'll probably link it somewhere like right down here. Probably over here, actually. And then, this is a Patience and Love leash wrap. It says in training on one side, but because Jasmine's fully trained, I just have it like this. And then this pull strap, I actually made myself. So if you've been watching my channel for a while and you frequent the comment section, you know that I make gear. This purple gear set I made myself. I made the vest with pockets, this martingale collar, the traffic tab, and there's like 1 or 2 other things that go with this set that I made. But yeah, I've made some other things like this pink Y front and pull strap, but because that pull strap is like, it was originally intended to be used, it's a rigid handle, so it's more for guide work because it gives you more feedback. I was like, yeah, I want to make like softer pull straps too. So I saw these braided ones for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, oh my god, that is the cutest thing ever. So I decided to learn how to make it myself. These things are a little bit stretchy, so it kind of absorbs, if your dog's forward momentum is a little bit more rough and you're working on it, it kind of absorbs some of that like pull. But it's very nice and soft on the hands, especially if you have like joint problems. And it's super cute and it has like the little fluffies on the end. So I made this myself to go along with this set. So it looks like this. I also made the black and white one up there. I'm not doing any sort of custom order right now, but maybe in the future, if you follow my Instagram, my service dog Instagram at least, I'll link it like right down here. Sometimes I will be selling my gear that I have like pre-mades and stuff, and then that's where you would see what I have for sale and the price and the measurements and everything. So yeah, definitely go follow my Instagram if you guys are interested. Anyways, that's about it for today's story time. Sorry it was kind of shorter, you know. I just figured I'd kind of share my experience on some lovely public backlash on my diagnosis. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you won't miss any videos I upload. And yeah, bye guys!